Mario Wonder, a franchise that has been around for many, many years and yet somehow has still been able to keep it fresh, new, and unique. But how exactly have they been able to achieve that? And what exactly has made Mario Wonder a spectacle and even a contender for one of the best 2D Marios in over the last decade? Welcome, everybody. I'm going to be your host tonight, Ninja Air, and today we're going to be doing an analyzation of the Mario Brothers Super Wonder game. And tonight we are going to be discuss exactly how this game has gone from a monumental success and what exactly Nintendo has continued to do, particularly why is this game as good as it is. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, Mario Wonder does pretty much stick to the same formula they've always stuck to. However, one thing that I think to note when I was looking into Mario Wonder is how exactly has Nintendo been able to keep it fresh. And so I decided to do a little bit of research on the subject as well, and kind of looking into from my own experience of working a little bit in game design as well, how we've just seen Nintendo keeping up the game when it comes to 2D platformers. And particularly with Mario Wonders, one of the biggest things that you may not know is that the game did not have a straight, direct timeline. Obviously, this year we've seen so many games come out simultaneously, up until some months having almost anywhere from 3 to 4 games. It has been, to say the least, very taxing year for gamers, just so much. However, Mario Wonder was the one game that I was really intrigued by because I was like, okay, it's another 2D Mario game. Why do I need to care when there's already Mario RPG? Which, to be frank, I was definitely more excited for Mario RPG than Mario Wonder. However, upon actually playing Mario Wonder, I was immediately just spellbound by how creative, unique, and just overall just excitingly enjoyable this game is. And so I found out just kind of looking into from the developer side. Again, Nintendo has been posting on their website as well as some other articles about the development background and sort of the behind the scenes. And Tetsuya and Hashigata, as well as Miori, and of course the original composer, Koji Kondo, kind of talked about how they went about directing this particular game. And of course they did have Shigeru Mori, who did the Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe game, and he was brought on as well. And then of course we have Kochi, who also did Mario Odyssey. And then of course we have Manasoda Soto, who also did a lot of the 2D Mario development for years. And of course, the one and the only great composer himself, Koji Kondo, who just kills it every time. But one thing that was unique about this game is they decided to not have a direct timeline. They actually said that we, quote, wanted to have a small number of people and no set deadline. And imagine a development team that felt a bit uneasy, and they were just saying, you know what, we're just going to just make this game different and get creative with it, end quote. And pretty much from there, that was kind of the whole direction of Mario Wonder was, we don't have any set direction. We really don't want to put ourselves in a time constraint. And again, Nintendo is a big company, and I'm sure you might be thinking, well, of course, Nintendo makes millions of dollars. Of course they have. However, we've seen other multi-million-dollar gaming corporations release games completely unfinished, unpolished, and completely just unenjoyable. But Nintendo decided, you know what? Once again, we're not going to give ourselves a timeline. We're going to just go totally bananas with this. We're going to experiment. We're going to do a bunch of different ideas because, again, how can we make a new 2D Mario game that isn't, that isn't just repetitive, that isn't just recycling of the old ideas? And one of the biggest ideas was they got the entire development team to get involved. They basically took up the whole team and they decided, you know what? We want your ideas. So they took over 2,000 little sticky notes of just ideas from the entire development team, from artists to engineers to storyboard artists, programmers. Everyone was just like, we want your ideas. Create like a little sketch of an idea that we could have for this game. And they took over 2,000, which I have not seen the last time a company took over, like said, you know what, the development team, we want you to bring ideas to the table. We want to see what you would want this game to be. And I love this. And this is the biggest thing I think that makes Mario Wonder really just show a huge aspect of Nintendo's culture. And again, I'm not speaking for the company as a whole because I obviously don't know it fully from the inside. But the fact that, again, we see a company like Nintendo that is like, you know what, no time constraint. We're not setting a set deadline. Instead, We're going to get the whole entire team involved, and you guys get to decide what kind of ideas. Obviously, they're not going to take all these ideas, but again, I love seeing this whole just conglomerate of involvement and just creativity. And even Kondo said, quote, "I felt I had to take the lead in going to the extremes. I wanted to create something that was unique and incorporate the music as well." Sato, yes, we didn't want to give up the idea of having to spend a lot of energy on and not making sure that things did not fit right. However, we wanted to make sure that the game had unique elements and unconventional ideas that would create the main aspect of the game, which was, of course, the wonder effect. And if you're wondering, of course, what the wonder effect is, you probably already know what it is. It is the wonder flowers, which are, of course, the main core aspect of the games. When you play through each of the levels, you grab a wonder flower and you magically, the level transforms. Originally, Sato and Mori were thinking about making the levels where if you grab the wonder flowers, you could transport to different levels. However, eventually they ended up not doing this because they felt that that's not really different. Even I believe Mori Sato said, how is that any different from the Mario game? And so they decided, how about we change up the game in the same level, make the level change, and that's how that whole idea got born, and that became the whole core identity of the game. And then, of course, the ideas of the Super Marios, the power-ups, and one of the character ideas was, an elephant. Was, how could we create a unique idea of Mario transforming? How did the Mario elephant idea come about? And I believe from doing a little bit of research, it was like he just suggested, maybe there was a way Mario could suck up water and like spit out flowers and stuff, and maybe those could grow. And it was just kind of a random thing that they put in. And he was like, you know what, this could work. And then that kind of came from all the Bubble Mario, recycling ideas of like the drilling Mario. Another one was from a sketch of the Koopas. There's a level where the Koopas are on roller skates. And that kind of just snowballed from there. Again, another was the Bonks, was a game where the little Bonks like start getting big and rolling it down. Again, all of these were just different ideas that they had taken from the 2,000 different sticky notes, and they kind of were just messing around with different ideas. The pipes was one of the first actual sketches and test runs that they did where those pipes would warp and change. And that in turn kind of created a whole new element to the game. And again, this is just how I think this really brought about this really creative, unique aspect of the game where the entire team with Sato and Miori were just like, you know what, we just need to make this super just intuitive, but also just crazy. Like, let's just go crazy. Let's get unique with it. Let's just try it, see if it works. And again, we have time. We're not on a strict deadline. And of course, they just kind of kept messing around and testing out different ideas. And again, it shows just how much fun this game is because every level was unique. And that was one of the main development times that Mori and Tessica wanted, is we want each level to have this element. And again, they didn't have to go the extra mile doing that. They could have just done it for a couple levels, maybe some, but they were like, nope, we're going to do it for all. And again, that just adds a whole level of quality of life to the game as well. And another thing that they added, which I really like, was the kind of completing it your way. They made the levels open-ended, kind of like Super Mario 3D World, where you get to choose what levels you do, and you don't even have to do all the levels in the game. You can do a couple levels as long as you have enough Wonder Seeds. You can move on to the next part of the world you're in. And I love that. Again, giving players the choice to choose how they go about the game. Complete it their way. You can complete the whole entire game, get all the purple coins, get all the Wonder Seeds, and just get everything that, or you can just speed through it. Speedrunners, you're trying to beat the game really quick? By all means, just go and do your thing, get the little ones you need, and move on. You get to choose how you do this game, and they've added so many fun elements, and I think this is definitely an absolute fun game for those of you who are completionists who like to complete everything, especially because some levels have like puzzles. There's other levels that have different challenges that you can get, and especially with the stamps aspect, which was the new element to the game where you can earn different stamps and they give you different abilities like jumping, dolphin dive, Mario parachute hat. A lot of these you could only earn these through these level challenges, and it just really adds such a fun aspect that we love about the Mario games, is that giving players the options to choose how they go about and play the game without giving them not little to do or not enough to do, but just enough where it really gives you a bunch of different options and anyone can enjoy it at their own pace, especially if you're playing with other people or family. And then, of course, the online mode, too, getting other players involved. This is definitely one of the best online modes I've seen in a Mario game, where you can have other players in the background but not have your play interrupted, and you can just see the shadows of people playing, but you can still affect how they're playing, and other people can simultaneously join levels with you. But again, because they're ghost characters, they're not indirectly impacting you, but you can still impact each other by, jumping on certain things or finding stuff, or maybe you're stuck in a level and you just cannot figure out, where is this one purple coin? I'm looking everywhere for it and I can't. And then you see a character go up a certain area and you're like, oh, that's where that is. Again, I can't even describe to you guys how much this game just makes me so happy. And again, it just continues to show how Nintendo keeps staying in the game. Obviously, yes, their hardware is outdated. Yes, we are waiting for that Switch 2. Yes, we are waiting for the next big thing. But there's one thing that this company, and again, these developers keep doing, is I love seeing just bringing the level of enjoyment when directors and developers choose to experiment on their own games. And it shows. And it's successful. Look how well the game's doing. Enough said. Take notes, AAA developers. Y'all need to get your butts in gear, because Nintendo, this company that keeps continuing to kick your butts with their sales and their little tiny Switch, there's a reason. So that's pretty much from the main point of my game. Again, as someone who likes to do level design on the side, I just love seeing the attention to detail so well done. But when I read that, that they didn't give themselves a time constraint and they just wanted to experiment, they also got their whole team involved. I can't even imagine how much fun that might have been too. Just having, your whole team just be involved and create ideas, even if they weren't, because again, they weren't obviously 2,000 note cards is a lot. That's a lot. But it's still cool that everyone got to be involved in this some way, whether or not they were indirect and whether their ideas were utilized or not in the final product. But again, Mario Wonder is such a absolute treasure of a game. It's definitely right there with one of my absolute favorite 2D Marios, right there with Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3. So well done, such a great design levels with great intention, and just so much aspects of the Mario franchise that I love, and the elements that really make the game fun and unique. And this is definitely, hands down, one of the best Mario games on the Switch. I'm going to say it now, right? Other than Mario Odyssey, best game. Absolutely need to play it if you haven't. If you are planning to get it for someone for this holiday season, do it. This game is so much fun, and it shows. Because again, what is the main reason why this game has done so well? Because the developers chose to put creativity and innovation above deadlines and profit. Enough said. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. I hope you all have a safe and good week, and I will be back with another topic for next week. Hope you all stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Stay breezy.